I want to tell people you can do what you want to do, and you can start today. And if not today, start tomorrow. And I'm going to help you get where you want to be. And I'm there every step of the way if you want to. And put in all the effort now. If you really want all these things it's talking about, put in the work and you're going to get there.
Welcome to episode 12 of the Make More Money podcast. I am very excited to bring you Vanessa Vanita. This is her with a best-selling book here, From Depressed to Success. She is an Instagram influencer, Instagram model. First, we go back, we'll talk about it, but maybe you can hear when I actually flipped a podcast interview I was on to kind of coach and find her dreams. And this is something I've been doing for time and time again. When COVID hit the first time, I built a whole coaching business, which made me reach out to her and give her an invite on the highly anticipated Make More Money podcast. We have great guests. We're flying out to Vegas next week, may sneak in the Dana White interview, and a lot of big names coming up. And for anybody who wants to be on this podcast, just put a link in the below, reach out to my assistant. We'll send you the details and everything and how that works out. If you got an invite in the past, please reach out to me. I want to make good on any of my words that I did say. And we've been very busy with everything, but a lot of great things coming with a new leads course that's phenomenal. But this podcast couldn't be really possible without Podblade. Podblade is someone that I'm actually partnering with the founder of it for the Ravi Roundtable on the Changing Lives Summit. You'll see that on our webinar coming up soon. So there's a lot of good stuff. If you're listening to this before, maybe you're depressed right now and that's why you clicked on it, this story will inspire you. I also have to personally thank Vanessa because I was able to use her book to send to people, different clients of me who've been depressed. If you've been depressed, you haven't been alone. I've been extremely down after losing my brother to drugs, fentanyl, and I know what it is to kind of just have those thoughts and feelings. You're not alone out there. So that's what I want to let you guys see and see that there is possible. You can go from, no matter where you're at, you can go from depressed to success, and sit back, relax, and listen to the Make More Money podcast with Vanessa. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, we just signed up for a YouTube Patreon account. And you can donate because although I did a lot of coaching today, I owe a lot of taxes. So I'm doing everything I can to sell a lot to get out of it. And any support for this channel to help podcast editing and everything go forward would be greatly appreciated. But now you can sit back and relax and listen to the Make More Money podcast with Vanessa Vanita. All right, it's Jeff J here to make your day. Welcome to the Make More Money podcast. I have never been more honored to bring on the next guest. I was actually a guest. Full disclosure, the Make More Money podcast is only invite only. People actually pay to get on this show. I actually been back when I got asked to be on a podcast.
Being on the show, I do something wrong with my podcast, I think.
Yeah, well, I run it like a business. I'm an entrepreneur. I run everything like a business, right? Yeah. But before then, I had an interview with this girl, Vanessa. Didn't even know anything about her. Just was like, Grant was my mentor. I said yes to everything. Came on the podcast. And really, to see her grow up, change her thing, and now write a book called From Depressed to Success, which is right there. I can't wait to read it. I wanted to read it before then. She actually was the first person ever that gave me the most winning testimonials. That I used to do coaching before, but really made me be like, man, and I started this whole full-time business called Changing Lives Coaching, all thanks to her. So it's funny, as you work to inspire other people, they inspire you. That was my little introduction for you, Vanessa. For people who don't know, you can give a 60, 90-second interview about yourself.
First of all, thank you so much. That is so sweet. You were also, I consider you a friend at this point. You inspired me. I inspired you. Sometimes you meet people that are just meant to be in your life, and you're one of those. Who am I? I'm Vanessa Vanita. I used to be a celebrity TV journalist back in Germany. I'm German. That's why I have such a weird accent. Now I'm an author. I wrote a book, Depressed to Success. I got to plug that everywhere I can. Amazon bestseller list. here, right here. I'm a speaker. I'm a podcaster now. I hope to inspire people. I'm in the self-empowerment business. I try to inspire female entrepreneurs mostly to go after their dreams, to believe in themselves. I'm in the self-love, self-empowerment, self-development business now, and I love it. I do my coaching sessions now too, and so that's me.
Oh, I love it. I love to see what she's grown to. So I went and looked at, and we'll link in our first in there. I'll link in your book. So go buy her book, Depressed to Success. I still looking forward to read it. I'm also going to link up the first interview we had. But I want people to kind of hear about your story, because when you interviewed me, I don't know if you remember this, I had no clue who you were. I didn't know how you looked, right? Do you remember that?
No camera, which I actually like. Sometimes it's nice to not, be distracted by how someone looks and just talk and really feel what someone is saying. And
right. Oh, 100%. And so I had a software at the time that unfollowed pretty girls at the time, because I was trying to stay focused at the time. Right. And I still am in the software game since then. I've kind of pivoted off and different stuff. But so I want to talk, because when you were interviewing me, I kind of turned it into like a coaching session, because I got very curious about you and where you're at. Now, did you have, when we did the interview, did you have coaching sessions then or no?
No, nothing. No, I didn't have a book. I had my podcast, obviously, but no, I had just started out in this whole journey of telling my story, telling where I'm from, telling where I come from, why I am now talking about my demons and being vulnerable and sharing everything. And that has just started out. And you really gave me a big push in materializing all that and also making money of it, because it's not a business unless you make money. It doesn't make anyone happy unless you make money, and it doesn't make the people around you happy or your clients or yourself. So you really gave me
so what I explain to everybody, and the coaching sessions are here, that if you really have the right idea and you want to really help people, and you're able, it's your duty to make money, because then you're going to do better with the money out of it, right? And to tell your story as well too. So this is just a huge blessing. So for anybody who doesn't know, tell a little bit about your story, kind of where you grew up and everything that got you to kind of, I know a little bit of it. I consider you a friend as well too, but tell everybody a little bit of the story.
Yeah, real quick. So I'm from Germany. I grew up in Berlin. I used to be a TV journalist, a reporter for something like Entertainment. And I was really unhappy when I did that. In hindsight now, I think it was because it was really superficial, but I've always had like a loud mouth, obnoxious. I was never, I was brave. I was not afraid to ask the bad questions. So I really like that side of it. I really like the fashion weeks and the movies and like the junkets and the stars. And I talked to Leonardo, Angelina, Brad Pitt, like all these big names. And I had a burnout after a few years of doing that. I wasn't happy. I was being creative, but I worked my ass off. I didn't get enough money for it. And I didn't know why I was so unhappy, because I was actually doing my dream job, but I wasn't happy. And in hindsight, it was because the reason why I talked to these people and I love talking to these celebrities was because they did what they love to do. And that's really important. They were in the passion, in their own passion. They were living their truth, their art. I was just the person that wanted a piece of that, but I was not living my own passion. I wasn't telling my own story. They just told me their stories. But that's why I loved kind of being surrounded by these people that were in the arts and movies and actors. But it left me feeling unfulfilled, and it left me feeling like I'm not living in my art and in my most inspired self, I guess. So I had a burnout, and I've always struggled with multiple mental health issues, which I back then didn't know because I wasn't educated on it. And I lived in this bubble, like I always say, behind glass. I was depressed. I had an eating disorder or multiple. I had a dad that was not very nice, that said lots of mean things all the time. And so I had a meltdown. And in between, there were a couple of years that were really, really dark. And that's all in my book, Depressed to Success. I don't want to talk so much about what's in here. It's so deep and so dark sometimes, but let's just say the worst things happened to me during that time of quitting my job there and moving to America. And that's all in the book, as I said. And then a couple years later, in like 2012, I moved with only my golden retriever Elliot and one suitcase, because I had nothing. I was basically completely broke, completely poor. I had lived on the street. I had lived on people's couches. I had a really bad eating disorder. I was severely underweight, all these terrible things. And I moved to California with like nothing, only like a dream of becoming something, a dream of doing something better. And so that's kind of like my that's kind of my story. And
yeah, so it's amazing. I can't wait to actually hear the full story. I know a little bit about it. So the reason why the reason why I was able to do coaching, I think anybody can do coaching who wants to help so well, is, you know, when you're able to read someone, solve problems as an entrepreneur, and be a visionary for stuff, right? And so you were very curious all the time, seeing celebrities all the time, kind of living out their passion and purpose, right? And when I coach everybody at the time, use your skill set, whatever your skill set is. Like you actually had, and I've talked to a lot of Instagram models and everything who couldn't monetize their following. That was the hardest thing ever, because they were so caught up with just being pretty and getting likes, but you don't get paid for likes, right? So speak to right now, because one of the students that reminds me that I used to teach, I don't know if I can say her name, but she reminded me a lot of kind of your story. She kind of had a very dark history. She always was the pretty girl. People treated her a certain way because she's a pretty girl, so she had to live up to that esteem. But all what she was made out of, right, which was you, she kept inside, and it tormented her inside, right? And it wasn't until she let it out that she actually felt fulfilled with herself, which now is what I've seen you totally do. It's been amazing. I know you're changing so many lives about it. I'm so proud to call you my friend and just really just be able to connect with you here. But I did want to say that, speak to that girl right now. Kind of, if there's a girl that listening to this, she just sees you because we put you on a thumbnail, you're a pretty girl, oh, I want to be like her. She clicked you. Speak to that girl who's been maybe abused emotionally, little mental health. And I had Brian Cuban on here just recently. He was great. He spoke about mental health. He's Mark Cuban's brother. It's something that obviously mental health awareness is definitely a huge thing that I think it's a stigma that people kind of don't think that everybody can benefit from kind of focusing on. But speak to that girl right now who's kind of just lost right now.
Right. First of all, I want to say about the social media following. You don't need a social media following, you need a good emailing list. That's the first thing that I learned on my journey. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. You can have like 10 million followers. I know a girl that has almost 10 million followers. I just talked to someone who coached her to make some sales. She had a product, she was unable to sell it. No one bought it. It doesn't really matter how much following you have, because people might follow you for the wrong reasons. You need a good emailing list, and you need a client that's your product is exactly destined to go to. You need a good client list, right? So that's the first thing. Don't worry so much about the social media following. The second thing, the girl, yes, that was what I actually started before all this happened. I wanted to go into schools and talk about mental health, and I have this really, really cute game that I play with my son, that I play with kids before this all COVID thing happened, where I had like play dates or I was babysitting, because I do think it all starts when you're young and when you're still a kid in high school or a kid in middle school, elementary school. And it's really, really easy, because the number one thing you have to do is control your mind. You have to examine and be aware of the thoughts that come into your head. And we have to teach kids from a really early age on that your mind will always think stuff. If you're healthy, if you're a healthy human being, it will never stop thinking, but you have to be aware of which thoughts come into your mind, and you have to be aware that some of them are very, very toxic to you and they're not going to help you. So I always play that game. It's really easy. We can play it together. And it's imagine a bubble, right? Like a soap bubble floating into your head, and it's a very negative thought, right? The negative thought is in that bubble, and your game is to pop that bubble that comes into your head right away, as soon as you can, because it's not going to serve you, it's not going to be good for you, it's not going to lead you to more money, more happiness, more a family, none of what you want. The negative thoughts will never help you. So what I would say to that girl is she needs to, first of all, she has to do a one-on-one coaching with me, because that's what I'm doing right now too, a lot. And since COVID happened, it's just been, to me, this has been such an eye-opening experience too. I when it all started, I was scared, and I thought maybe that I'm in the wrong business. I don't want to sell to people that are desperate, all these things that I had. But now I'm helping so many people break out of these thoughts and actually be excited for a change of life and for a new empowerment that they feel. Anyway, she should come to me, and I'm going to teach her how to be aware of her mind, be aware of her bad thoughts, and how to actually make your thoughts work for you instead of against you, and how to create a safe haven within your head, because you are aware of these bad thoughts. And I think mindset, everyone's always talking about mindset. What that just means is being aware that all the thoughts that come into your head are not serving you. You have to really filter out the bad shit and not entertain it, and just get rid of it, so you can actually listen to the voices in your head that serve you and that make you happy and that you deserve, and that will lead to success and money and abundance for the people around you and for yourself.
Wow, no, that's great. I'm so proud of actually the girl I knew that you had in you. Now you're actually changing lives, which is the whole saying of why I'm building the Changing Lives coaching, because exactly that. And it shows me what a great coach you are. So I definitely totally honor and totally recommend anybody. Do you still have the Vanessa Voices podcast?
Yeah. I still have it. I'm still going strong. Yep. That's how many people find me, actually, which is funny because I'm sometimes mentioning I do one-on-one coaching and they find me through my website, vanessavanita.com, or my Vanessa's Voices podcast, where I have everyone from female entrepreneurs, eating disorder survivors, mental health.
You
Mental
got
health.
Sam Bakalar on your podcast, right?
Which one?
Sam Bakalar, you know that guy?
No.
Yeah, you had him on your pod. You interviewed him. He's Sam Bakalar. I don't know if it's Sam.
Oh, Bakhtiar. Yes.
Bakalar. Yeah, I'm not saying it right. Maybe that's why I didn't get him on. I asked him the same time as you when I was trying to build it big, and then I heard him on your podcast. It's like, figures. He picked a pretty girl over me, you know?
No, you know what? No. He's actually really cool, really down to earth.
I know.
Different than what you would think. Yeah. He was at NetCon and I was at NetCon too.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and I don't even know if we talked, but what I really liked about him, he came in, he was a speaker, and sometimes those are really tacky, not tacky, but they're like superficial, and I don't like the superficial stuff. I don't like, many people in the industry are just so, all these platitudes and stuff, and he came in after lunch, and he sat down and he said, I saw all you MFers stuffing your faces with all this bad food. How are you gonna think healthy thoughts right now when you had all this bad food? He was really, calling all these people out. He was real. He's like one of the real ones.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we connected. I don't think he actually knew me. I also don't think he goes like for pretty girls. Yeah. I can tell him to go on your podcast.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, right now I'm overbooked. Everybody's asking. That's why I started throwing out prices, and people started paying. And then some guys like $300. So right now we're doing $97. People paying me to be on.
Well, I don't even have mine. I don't even have mine monetized.
Yeah, so there's different ways. You can you can do another coaching session. We'll do. Have me back on. I'll teach you how to monetize your podcast. All right.
Yes.
There's definitely different ways on it. Where do you host yours on?
SoundCloud.
Okay, yeah. So we'll talk about different things too. We'll do on different things. All right. So getting back to your story, what are we doing for time here? Okay. Yeah. So you definitely now have where are you living right now?
I moved from Texas. So when we talked, I think I was still in Texas.
Right. Yeah.
Which for our family was amazing because we could save lots of money. Right. And then we moved back to California, and we're actually in the process of now. We bought a house in Cardiff. I don't know if you know Cardiff by the sea. I'm very excited. So we're moving straight into this little beach town. It's like Laguna Beach, but in San Diego.
Right.
And for me, if you would have told me 10 years ago, 2008 actually was my worst, darkest year, and you wouldn't recognize me. I mean, I was like 110 pounds and I'm really tall, so I looked terrible. I was a wreck in every way. And if you would have told me you actually moving, because I love surfing, I love the beach, that's like all my thing. If you would have told me I could live by the beach in San Diego, just because of all the choices I made in those years, I would have never believed you. I would have thought you're crazy. I was in Berlin, poor, broken down, very sick. And yeah, it's insane. It's insane. What I'm looking at palm trees and like I'm just, it's been.
So since our last podcast interview, which I think is the last time I spoke to you, I've stayed in contact with you and watched what you're doing. Your book totally hit me with stories. I was like, that was quick. I have a book coming out soon called "Getting Rich in Recession." I think is the working title. It's out in editors right now. Well, but have you made more money since the moment I talked to you till now?
Yes.
Yeah. So, good. That's my main passion to do. Like, I love it. That makes me more happier. So what are some of the things that helped you get into that realm to go from where you are, just a podcast host, having people on, kind of wanting to chase your dreams more and discover it, to now to making more money?
I think it's really important to have people believe in you, to be honest with you. It's sometimes not even about having the best strategy or having the best product, whatever. Yeah, also, but you need a support system and you need people to really believe in you and to speak that belief into you when you sometimes don't believe in yourself. You can never underestimate the power of relationships and the power of friends. If I haven't seen you, I mean, I don't see you, we don't talk, and so I think of you as a friend because you have moved something within me. So it really doesn't matter, you can call anyone a friend that you just meet or you hang out with them a lot, but they don't give you anything or they don't really care. But if you feel something between two people and actual care and actual effort to make someone else's lives better than your friend. So I felt that, and I think we both had that experience, and I want to be that person for people too. And I feel like I've always been that for other people, but I haven't really received that.
Yeah.
And so when we had that talk, out of the blue, surprisingly, that happened for me, that I felt seen and I felt important, or not important, but I felt like my message was important. And that, I think, catapulted everything into where it is now.
No, it's so amazing. And it's funny because actually I just coached someone who actually think I should refer to you or definitely do that. This is why it's good we bring out these conversations. Tim's story, I don't know if he was a big person for me who believed in me publicly in front of everybody and really catapulted me my recent successes where I'm at even right now. It's insane. Sometimes right now I'm blowing up, like having Dana White and certain people on my podcast. I'm just like, man, this is crazy, and multiple businesses now. But I love it. And I never loved anything more than changing lives, coaching, because of that thing. Like now I feel like if you make a difference or move someone, you have friends for life everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
So
yeah, and you have a universe of souls that are feeling connected to your spirit, which is so invaluable. It at that point it's not a business. That's why coaching is also not a business. It is so personal. I mean, you have like a client after, and I had one before we got on, and it is the most personal thing. They cry, I cry, they tell me stories of their lives. They have the last one I talked to Melissa, she referred to something out of my book, and I was so taken aback. First of all, I don't know everything I read in there, I wrote in there anymore. I mean, I do, but someone else reciting it and then telling me how they relate to it and how it helped and how it resonated, and that's just mind-blowing. So yeah, it is a business, but at the same time, and I had to learn that too, taking money for it is making everything better, because I can then scale and I can make things bigger and I can have a nice website and I can do this and I can travel. And now I'm going to have, hopefully when the world opens up again, I'm going to have my Siren Summit, which is a female empowerment, female entrepreneur summit, where I bring all these amazing speakers on. I do my own NetCon, I do my own convention. And
good. Awesome. Yeah, see, so I was always looking for the one girl who'd be the voice. I was talking to everybody. Elena Cardone, you know who Elena Cardone is, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I just had her on. That was probably one of the best interviews I had, because she's such a smart woman and everything.
Yes,
and but it's cool to hear you doing that, because I always inspire all these young girls who are coaching with me, and I'm like, man, I hope they're not coaching because they think I'm cute. I hope that I can really help them, So it's actually a whole level then, because I definitely think like women are so especially in the business thing, especially pretty women in a way. It's, being good looking is a curse in a way, where sometimes I think like people think differently of you. And when you're trying to, especially coaching, like the reason why people pay is because they pay attention, right? When you pay attention, and then you actually will listen more and then take action on it. That's what I know. I've tried free coaching. I love it. I'll do it to the free Dunkin' Donuts person, but they don't listen. Just so anybody knows, I'm right here at Dunkin' Donuts. My Wi-Fi wasn't working. I respected her time, my time. I want to make this happen. I was going to reschedule, but I hate when people do that to me when we have a thing. I knew Vanessa, she had her camera off last time. I knew you'd be looking all pretty and ready, and because I know how you are. So here, what I want to talk about then is, so someone who definitely wants to write their own book. Did you ghostwrite it, or did you just write it all yourself?
No, none of this is ghost-written. I've been a writer since I was like 5. I was published actually before, when I was really young, like 7 or 8.
I didn't know that.
I had like a poem in a really big like poetry contest, and that made it possible for me to publish my other poetry. So I've always been a writer. I'm not this, I'm not whatever, model, author, whatever. I'm actually a writer. Writing is the only tool I really know how to do really well. And
really,
I got paid for writing, and this is like my soul tool. And I know it might not look like a writer, but what does a writer look like? That's so stupid. I actually hate that. I hate the prejudices. Because I'm never prejudiced about anyone. If you want to look like a scarecrow, being a speaker, look like a scarecrow. But I feel like we already debunked that. Like Marie Forleo is super hot. Elena Cardone, super hot. I just had Lisa Morales on the podcast, super hot. Like we honestly, that whole prejudice of you have to be ugly to be smart, that is so last, I don't know, century, last whatever. I'm not going to cover up just because I have something in my head. I graduated best in my year. I don't care if you like have any kind of preset notion. How do you say preconceived notion? I don't have that against other people. I wish people wouldn't have that about me. But I'm not going to let that stop me, and I'm not going to put like a turtleneck on every day just so that people listen to me. And I made the experience that it doesn't disturb anyone. People are just like, maybe they ask like, oh, where do you get your hair done? Maybe they do that, but then everything else is still the normal coaching session. And, I think we're already past that. But what was the question?
No, that was perfect actually. So no, I think actually you hit it right on the head of that.
For ghostwriting, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So,
but you've always been a writer,
which
was awesome. But yeah, go ahead, talk about the steps of writing the book.
The steps of writing a book. So I went about it a little bit differently, because I had written about like 10 boxes full of material. I mean, it could have like 10 books, I guess, or since like 2000 and maybe 7 or 8. That's when I really started like writing. Mm-hmm. I don't read long books. So I don't read thick books anymore, especially self-help advice books. Like I just don't get through them anymore. And maybe I have ADHD, but I just can't get through them. If it's a science fiction or like a novel, I do that. But the self-help books, I don't. The best book that I read, like the best self-help book, has like 10 pages. I think it's called It Works. Look it up on Amazon. It Works.
I've read that. So you know what? I coach a lot of entrepreneurs. That's the best way to do it. Take one book, find the best part in it, and then that's it, man. Don't be reading like Getting Rich in Recession is going to be 24 pages. It's not a big book.
Yes, mine is 80. So I wrote. So it was huge, and no one wants to read a story time about my life. I'm 36. Like, you don't need. That's just not what's going to happen. And so I wrote it all down. I had to like cut it all down. And so this is a self-love guide. This is me reaching out to people who feel stuck, who feel abandoned by their own self, who have voices in their head that don't serve them, who have dreams that they don't believe in, who have things that hold them back. There's some deep shit in here that my husband and my mom had cried over and have swallowed, that I put that out there. But I feel like people deserve to know, and people will benefit from me being so honest. That's why it's in here. And it's a manual that you can always look up again. And you don't have to have 2 hours of time to like work through my crazy thoughts. It's really me telling you about stories of my life that were really, really painful, but really, really impactful, and what I've done with them. And so this is my baby. This is really, really dear to my heart, and it's really short, and I've gotten amazing feedback, which is crazy.
You know what? So I don't read a lot of long books. I'll listen to them on like Audible all the time. But when you showed me how small it was when you just picked it up there, I was like, I want to order it now. I want to read it.
And that's why it's on Barnes & Noble right now, in the paperback.
Yeah, paperback.
Paperback version is coming out on Amazon. We had delays with COVID distribution, so Amazon has like shut it all down, even though I had reviews on there. It's so annoying. But barnesandnoble.com is free shipping. It's $20, and if you wait for the paperback, it's even cheaper. And I've had nothing but amazing reviews. So I don't know. I don't want to say I'm proud of it, but I'm happy that it is.
Why wouldn't you say you're proud of it?
Well, it's so personal. So being proud of something like that is almost like,
Here's the thing. I want to say is I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you putting yourself out there. I just did a video on depression on YouTube that I was like, oh, my dad's going to see, because I knew certain stories I told him there about depression with me, with drugs and all sorts of stuff like that would help somebody else who's been there. Right. So I had to get past the fact that maybe someone else would see me as a certain way and put it out there. So I know you did a lot of stuff like that in your book, and I commend you, and I'm proud of you. So even if you're not proud, I'm proud of you, because I know the lives that'll change, because your story, and this is going for anybody listening, has power. And the pain we've been through, we can find our purpose. And it's just cool because you have a beautiful face and beautiful, but you're beautiful inside, the way you actually meticulate everything, which is why I'm having you on today, to really just get you known and blow you up in front of everyone. So where were you on? Let me ask this: What did you work for Entertainment News, like E! News, or what was that?
Yeah, it's called RTL Exclusive in Germany. It has the monopoly in entertainment TV. It's the biggest thing. I covered all the junkets. My first interview was with Lewis Hamilton, the Formula One driver, on on the brakes. They had like this new brake that actually saved energy. I don't know if you're a Formula One guy, but that was in 2009. And it just blew up from there. And I did all the junkets. I was the only one speaking English, and I was really hungry. And then they used me for news. I was like everywhere because my network had NTV, which is like news TV.
Yeah.
So I just did all of it. And I always thought this is like my calling. I love interviewing people. But I think I already said that, but like the passion behind it for me was that I was surrounded by people living their passion. I was so inspired by it, but I didn't live my own passion. Didn't have my own voice. I just listened to people having big ideas and, big projects. That's also in my personality. I've always been an entrepreneur in my head. My dad is an entrepreneur, and I always thought I'm crazy. I think we talked about that before, but
we did.
My whole life,
So what was one thing you learned from that job now, and are you doing what you love right now where you're at?
Right. Well, right now I'm still quarantined because I'm in San Diego, California. So as soon as this opens up, I am really a person that I'm thriving on real contact. I'm not good like virtual online. That's all fine, but that's not what I really want to do. I want to meet people. I want to go out there. I want to have events. I had 2 events where I was about to promote my book before this all happened, The Best You, and then I had a female empowerment event planned with a friend of mine that all got shut down. So this is where it's going to go as soon as it opens again, because I'm not afraid to meet people. I want to meet people. I want to meet. I think there's a power in eye contact, real eye contact, and in touch and in energies, and not just our energy, but also sitting in front of each other and or shaking hands. I don't know. I hope that comes back to us.
Yeah, me and Grant said we're both shaking hands. We don't really care, man. Just put on some hand sanitizer, we'll be fine.
And the reason why that's so important is because it's electricity going through you. The inspiration goes through your whole body. It's not just this virtual machine where I don't know, and I have a lag, or I look different, you look different, or whatever. You need this. You need this human contact, this real human contact, to be inspired and to change lives and to go for it. And so
you'll see, I posted a video as a promo video we're doing for my new launch. We're launching Changing Lives Entourage, and it's basically going to be people. It's going to be a monthly membership we're going to do. We're going to maybe actually I should have you come in and speak, depending on who signs up. Especially if I get some girls.
Yes, I would love to.
I'd have you come in as a question and answer. I think that'd be great.
Yes,
I love doing stuff. I love like just doing ideas on here.
I thought about that too. We should do these things like panels, masterminds, and I know that's more scalable, but for me personally, I want to go in schools. I think you talked about changing the education system too. That's my thing too. I want to go
talk off time. I've done quite a bit since then towards that. So do you know who Dan Fleischman is?
I think I know the name.
Yeah, so he's the kid who sold this company for $1 billion. He knows Mr. Beast is one of the guys, and that's one of the guys I'm working with. It's funny. I wish I had everything. When this all got shut down with COVID, I wish I had what I had, because then we could just launch it and test it out to schools right now and pitch it. But we'll get there anyway. So let me talk about this. Because I'm with you. I love being right here, even though my hair looks stupid and I'm all where I'm at. And I can't wait to get a haircut. But what was I going to say? How can you talk to somebody who's maybe sitting home right now? Everybody's locked in, right? The COVID things happen. I think this whole thing's a little bit more ridiculous than it is. I can't wait till we open up. But speak to someone who's kind of locked in right now. They kind of want to do something. They're just listening to this. What would it take them to be where you're at?
First of all, they don't have to be where I'm at. They have their own story. They have their own passion and their own dreams. What I always say is this is a huge chance. And I really, truly believe that. And I tell that to all my clients. This is a huge chance, because everything gets shuffled new in your life, right? And your focus shifts, and that's always good. And for some people, it's devastating. And I know that for many people, it's devastating to lose their job, to not know what the future holds, to not be able to feed their children. I know, and my heart goes out for them. I'm the most empathetic person. Everyone knows that about me. I'm a crybaby. This is a really tough time. What I tell my clients, though, and I just had a call last night with someone from Germany. She lost her job. She's the secretary to a lawyer, actually a pretty big law firm in Berlin. And she's a stay-at-home mom now, homeschooling her 4th grader, I think. And she wants to sell beauty items. She wants to have like a website and kind of like drop shipping, but not really. But she wants to have her own business. And we actually talked about that before COVID happened. And now she lost her job. So I told her, this is the chance. This is your chance, because right now you have nothing else to lose. And I kind of know what that feels like. It's all in my book, but I had times where I couldn't pay rent. I lived on my very toxic friend's, who was like addicted to coke, couch. Or no, I had like a blow up mattress. It wasn't even a couch. I couldn't pay my a toothbrush, so I had to call my friend to come to me and pay me a 75-cent toothbrush at the supermarket. I know exactly, and I might not look it right now, but I know exactly how it feels to have nothing, and to believe you're nothing, and to think that nothing good will happen in your life. And I know that feeling of nothing else, nothing to lose, right? But there's so much power in there, because from now on you can create every single step, and you are humbled, which is always good. Being humbled, being vulnerable is the place to be and the state to be in, because your identity, everything we build ourselves to be, like my hair, my jewelry, like my house, all this is bullshit. You don't need all of it. That's like what comes with success, right? Money, whatever, but that's not you. That's an illusion. Elena Cardone, Grant Cardone, all this like beautiful life. That's what they work for. That's amazing. That's not them. If you take everything away, their mindset and their relationship, and what Grant is doing with philosophy in sales and all his ideas, that stays with them. So they can always build that back up if they choose to do so. And so what I told Melissa is, this is your chance now to leave all the vanities and to leave all the ideas you had for your life and whatever. We're all right now shut down. Now focus on the little baby steps that get you to where you want to be. Because in between the day, right now, today, where we're all shut down, we're all scared, we think we get sick, we can't shake hands, we're all scared of the future, we have no money. In between this moment and the moment where you start to actually work for your dreams, and you have to work for it, by the way, it's not just the idea, like you have to do things, are only the thoughts of, I'm not good enough, I can't do it. My mom said I should go corporate. My dad said I'm fat. All these bad toxic thoughts that you have in your head, that's all that hinders you. So take the thoughts away and take the first step. And this is a great equalizer, a great mindset equalizer. Everyone feels taken aback, scared. Everything is getting shuffled new. For example, I have to put my son into kindergarten. We move into a beautiful town right now, but I don't know if the kindergarten is going to be open in August. So we're all in the same very uncertain time. And but I am not in the business of being scared, and I'm not in the business of being telling you, oh, everything is going to be terrible, we're all going to get sick. We're all going to die anyway. We're all going to die. Everyone's going to die. We can't do anything about that. But I want to tell people, you can do what you want to do, and you can start today. And if not today, start tomorrow, and I'm going to help you get where you want to be. And I'm there every step of the way if you want to, and put in all the effort now. If you really want all these things they're talking about, put in the work, and you're going to get there. And I'm not special. You're not special. It's really just the mindset that has to be shifted and, a little bit manipulated and fixed sometimes. And then you're off to the races.
No, I agree. Like, everybody can get there. It's kind of what you put in your mind. I always coach everybody that, our self-talk is probably 90% negative, right? Until it's a work part. And I like what you just taught me then, the little bubbles, right? You pop them away.
Pop them.
Serve you, and you realize that.
They don't serve you.
To where I am. Like, literally, I just started I can't wait. I'm going to be doing a coaching session at 7 p.m. with this dentist who's a millionaire dentist and now found his purpose in life. Saw me. What's made me more sad is doing less coaching sessions, Vanessa. So I went full-time in COVID. Now the window company's open. I don't want to let Joe down. I'm not selling windows. I just wrote $26,000 for windows now. Great. But I want to get back and actually changing lives and how I can scale it. So
I know it doesn't make much money, but it's so rewarding. I
know. Me and Brent had a conversation with that. So I'm gonna scale it up because there's a lot of bad coaching business out there where they just kind of go for the money and the package stuff. And I'm more about what my coaching is, making people more money right now, but only if their mindset's fixed. If their mindset's not fixed, that's why I did depression, right? Then there's no sense in getting it that way.
Right.
But all right, my computer, I'm not on here. This is why it's a little shaky. I'm holding up right here. This is whatever it takes to make it happen. I'm gonna have you come on again because I want to save this before the computer dies. But I'm gonna go to the final 6 questions. But I definitely want to have you on again. Once I read your book, I'll have you on again, and I look forward to having that.
We'll do it.
But best money advice you would give to someone right now?
add value to people's lives, solve problems. If you have to throw money at it and someone else works for you, do it. That's always important. If you, because people ask me that a lot, oh, should I pay this person to do this for me? Yes, if it's scalable and if it's actually making his life better and your life better, do it. And if you are, another thing, if you are short on cash right now, because I have people asking me questions really on that. I don't have money in the bank, like I have to feed my family. What I always did, and it's in my book also, it's one chapter. When I was completely broke, I sold things on eBay. I'm really good at selling things. And that's why I have my Instagram business still. I'm still working with brands. I'm still selling fashion for brands. I'm probably do my own thing soon because I can just sell things really well. And I learned that, I think, there, or that's kind of like my talent. So if you have something you can sell, in my book is this one chapter of, I was super broke, and the DHL had delivered 20 or 25 cowboy hats to my door in 2008. And I sold them, and they were like professional cowboy hats for like these people that dance, like line dancers. And I sold every one of them for like a high price. So sell something, do drop shipping, do flipping. That's very Gary Vee like. But that's actually what I did. I actually always sold things on Poshmark, eBay. You'll find my Poshmark.
Poshmark before you even said it.
Huh?
I said I knew Poshmark before. But usually,
Poshmark.
a coach like you, I tell them great to get on Poshmark because
Yes.
there's millions of people you can sell on there.
Yes, if you're an Instagram model and you're struggling right now, I get sent so much clothing and so much stuff. I sell it right away. I'm sorry. You'll see it on my page and I sell it. I'm a hustler. I make money. You need to make money to live, to have a business of your dreams, you know? So if you're right now strapped for cash, sell things, flip things. That's always
that's awesome. That's exactly what I coach. That's one of the best money advice I've heard on here. And you can go back and listen to the past episodes. We had more in mindset in here who talked about brand name stuff that when he was younger used to like it. I call him my older brother now. I'm actually probably going to be on an Amazon Prime Entrepreneur show with him. That's coming in, which is crazy. But when we were young, did you know you would be doing this where you'd be right now?
I always knew I wanted to be. I always knew I was kind of crazy, for sure. I thought I would be on stage. I was in acting school. I was always acting. So I was thinking I would do something where I speak to people. I'm also kind of psychic. I can feel when people die, like across oceans. I actually just did that, unfortunately, again, which is really, really hard on me. And it's really weird as a kid. So I thought I'm either like a psychic, psychologist, or something on stage. And that's me being told constantly I'm not good enough, I'm too fat, I'm too this, I look like a boy, I had like a unibrow as a kid. I was bullied, like all these things. My dad didn't like me. So I didn't have good cards that were dealt to me. But in my head, I was always like, no, I'm gonna make it. And you know, making it is a complete weird concept for people. For me, it's really happiness and doing what I love and connecting with people, because I'm a very sensitive soul and I need to connect. All the money, like I don't care about your money. Don't give me all the money. Give me the connections and the every morning when I wake up, I want to feel like I'm doing something of purpose. I'm making someone happy. And yeah, I have my family where I butter all my love and power and everything in, but I also want to change the world a little bit, because when I die, I want this to live on. I want to have like a book where someone feels like, oh, when I was in my deepest, darkest times, it spoke to me. So yeah.
Yeah, so my goal since that interview, I've kind of had some coaching since then. My goal is still 77 million. Everybody wants me to do it.
Oh, yeah.
But really,
I remember.
It's helping other people make 77 million, helping other people, 77 million people. I'd rather help 77 people make money. That's my new mission statement. By helping people get what they want, you get what you want. And I've never been more of it together. All right, because we're dying and time, and I have a coaching session in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, best relationship advice. So you're married, right?
I'm married. Yes, my husband is.
How long have you been married for? I know.
How long?
Yeah.
2014, March.
Right. Longer than me, any relationship I've been in. Give me one tip.
Mine too. Be an indestructible team. Mm-hmm. Figure out before you get married, religion, faith, how you want to raise your kids, and goals. Like, do you want to be rich? Do you want to be poor? Do you want to live on the beach, or do you want to live in the city? We didn't do that. We just got lucky. We did go through a very rough patch after I had my son. I'm a very independent person. and I'm not good at being tied down at all. So we had to really learn how to support each other's missions, and we were both workaholics. So that makes it hard because someone always has to step back and be more available and be more home. And I'm not home, he's not home, we're just working. He's in IT, he's in sales, he's a rock star in his field. He's teaching right now the whole world how to work from home. He, so add value. But relationship advice, be a team. As soon as you have kids, everything changes.
Yeah.
It's a completely different ballgame.
No kids yet. That's cool.
Yeah. So, but you probably want to have kids if you get married. So I didn't plan any of that. That just happened to me. But be a indestructible team, find a strong partner, and support each other's dreams. My husband you never see him on Instagram, you never see him, but he's in the background supporting everything I do. It's my biggest. I don't really need a cheerleader, but I need someone that when I doubt myself that says, no, you're amazing, you're hot, you're super smart, you can rock this. He's my rock and I'm his rock. Everything that he's done so far, I have kind of initiated, coached, put into order, because he was like, well, I'm already making some, I'm fine financially. Why do I have to do this? But I'm pushing, so I would just say, be smart about it. Don't be, superficial about it. Many girls right now, I think, are after the wrong things. Yeah. And I think I went into it the right way. I loved him, and that's a good baseline. Don't go into it thinking, these gold digging, whatever you call it here, that's just gonna get you into the worst trouble ever. So don't do that. Have a good base and support each other's dreams.
No, you said it right. Be indestructible team. Faith, I heard it. I'm going to take some notes later on. Listen, it's actually, you want to hear about her and her husband, how they met, you can listen to our interview. She talked about that time because I turned it on. I started asking her questions.
We have a crazy story too. Crazy.
It was a cool story. So what was the thing? By the way, you said faith. I'm a Jesus guy. I kind of put that out there too. What's your faith? What do you believe?
I don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe in religion, but I love my best friend from Texas. She's a total Jesus freak. Honestly, she would be like, yeah, I'm a Jesus freak. She was on my podcast. I respect everything you do. Like I lead with love. I would never.
Let me ask you this. Are you an atheist? Because when in coaching, I find if people don't believe in something, whether it's Allah, whatever it's something, it's hard for them to believe in themselves. Like they have to have faith.
Right. So for me, what really helps, I have that too. What really helps, and also with my best friend, is I just switch out the word God with love. Okay. And it works brilliantly.
Oh, that's actually perfect, because the whole Sunday school stuff, they always say God is love. So that's
we believe in the same thing. We just call it a different term. Bam.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome. All right, what's something you're looking forward to next?
The world,
this whole country here and getting back.
Yeah, the world opening up again. I am really excited to. I have a course coming up that I'm really excited about, because that's like all my heart and like my soul powered into it, and like one thing that's going to be there forever. That's great. My second book, The Mermaid Method, I'm writing on it right now. It's going to come out next year. I have to promote my book more. I'm not like I'm so passionate about my projects, but I have to be better at marketing. So I'm like being coached right now in marketing and like finding.
I'll help you. That's part of the reason why I brought you in. I saw you had a book. I was like, I want to promote this. Best way to do it is have you on. So it's short. It's Depressed Success. It tells all her stories. So anybody out there, go buy it. Let me know. Anybody buys it and leaves a review and puts a comment on here or sends me an DM. I'm gonna send you some free. I have swag. Some girl made me all my swag. I'll send her a free thing of that as well.
You do like a giveaway. We're gonna do a giveaway because I have like 10 copies here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm excited for everything to come. I'm excited for what's next for my clients too, because there's like projects getting started now that I have kind of like initiated. So I'm excited to see that. I'm excited for my Siren Summit that's going to come out. I actually have a real estate license now. I already did that before all this happened, but I really love houses and like flipping houses. So I think I'm going to dabble a little bit in real estate once I'm allowed to go, because I love San Diego and like the houses here. There's endless. As soon as you're like in your groove and you just do everything you believe in, life is really fun.
No, 100%. Like right now, I'm a real estate investor, and I'm always looking at other real estate. And I think.
Oh yeah, Grant Cardone is your mentor.
Oh yeah. But I think I might even be getting my life insurance license next. Who knows? You just do so much once you can add stuff in. People are like, how do you do it? It's easy once you have a good team and base, and you can make money. This is what I coach people. You make money, then you can hire people to be an extension of it. You almost become a quarterback and then do more. All right. Education. So I'm racing. The only reason I'm talking fast, I'm racing my battery dying on my computer already. This is full. So changes you would like to see in the education system.
I want to go, and I'm going to do that. I mean, I was already booked to do that. I'm going to go into schools in San Diego, then I'm going to do all of California, and going to teach children about mental health awareness, because and that's also in my book. Germany where I grew up is such a sophisticated society. We're so woke, we're so smart, and so, we're the thinkers and the whatever. But we don't educate our children in school about mental health. And this is where it all starts. So and that's what we're going to do. You're going to do that too, and I'm going to do that too. I'm going to go into schools and teach children how to have a healthy mindset, how to have a mindset that keeps them safe and peaceful within themselves. No matter what your dad tells you, your mom tells you, your teacher tells you, you have your peace inside you, and that's missing. That's not there. We don't even teach people how to make money or to find a job in school. That's another thing. Maybe you can get on that, but
we will.
Yeah, but we also don't teach, and we feed them, because their parents don't feed them. But what do we do about their little minds, their souls, their hearts? I'm going to do that on my son. I'm doing that on my son every night. I'm like, how do you feel? Why does it make you feel like that? What can we do about it? Is that feeling true? Is that thought true? Or is it maybe just, he's like my little prototype for my method, but I'm feeling so passionate about it, and I love children, and I want to I'm going to go into schools and try to make that a big thing, and try to get amazing thought leaders and amazing mind fixers, amazing souls into schools to actually meet children and talk to them about mental health, because that's where it all starts.
No, that's awesome. One of my friends, I'll give her a shout out here, Angela. She's one of the fellow coaches that I kind of coached her through a lot, kind of similar to you, that money's important. She kind of just woke up, and now she's better. But she says something like this: we were told to listen, but we weren't taught how to listen, right? Which was great. But but the other thing, we weren't taught what to listen to, like all the positive stuff and not the negative stuff, right? So that's kind of in what I'm going to change in a little thing. All right, I could go on forever with you. So where can people find more of you, Vanessa?
So you're going to get my book. It's at barnesandnoble.com. It's going to be on Amazon too. Depressed to Success, the only manual you'll ever need.
Love the title.
Yeah, thank you. You're going to listen to Vanessa's Voices podcast everywhere where good podcasts are to be found. It's on Apple iTunes, it's on SoundCloud, on Stitcher, or wherever. Vanessa's Voices, because the voices in your head.
I love it.
But yeah, I have like celebrities on there, Instagram models, entrepreneurs, millionaires. You are on it. It's a very like soulful, very authentic podcast. It has nothing to do with, sometimes they're just so...
Let me ask you one question, because this is something I'm going through right now. I'm starting to get really booked a lot, like so much, a point where asked to be on like a TV series, certain stuff going on. And I always thought, when you, what is I going to say? Like, I would never be scared of success, the thing. And I just noticed now I kind of almost am in a way. Like, I don't know if I'm scared of success, but like, so talk to me about that.
Walk towards the fear.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. See, I love you.
Oh, like that's what I did. I moved to America. That's fucking scary. My dog almost died. No one gave him water. 11 and a half hours flight in hot summer heat. No one gave him water. I walk towards fear every day of my life. That's what I learned. Yeah. That's what gives me the most dividend, the most walk towards the fear.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's a great way to end it. I have 90% to save this on my computer before it dies, so we don't have to do this again. But if we do, I'll be okay, because then my hair could look better next time. Maybe get a haircut. Although in the love, people live in the two worst states to do business in, California and Connecticut. But you can still make it happen if you're an entrepreneur. It doesn't really matter. You can make it happen no matter what. Right?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. This was great. This was like catching up with an old friend. I love that. And
it was really good, actually. This is unlike, and there's a lot of, listen to Alex Morton interview. That one just came out. It was like an older brother. So I think they're kicking me out of here, but we made it. All right. JeffCunningham.com. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for being on. I got to head off and and do what I'm called to do, man. Coach somebody. This would be awesome. So.
Okay. You have a good day.
You too. Thanks. All right.